Oh my... oh my gosh, I cannot... oh my gosh. I am so excited to be able to film with Luxeria. I cannot...
Hi guys.
This is what, 10 years in the bloody making. Like, it's...
Just about, yeah.
So, just to give some of you guys a background as to why this is such like a monumental thing for me. Oh, I love you so much. I have known Luxeria for like half of my life almost, really, isn't that scary? Like, nearly half of my life. First of all, just tell them like where you started from on YouTube, like, you know, your back right from the very beginning, and as to why I would like know you, and then yeah.
Okay, so I started my YouTube channel in 2006. My first video was uploaded in 2007, and I used to be an androgynous boy. I now transitioned. I'm a lady. Hello everyone.
Slay.
So I started my YouTube channel by filming a series called The Complicated Life, which was about me it was essentially vlogging before vlogging became a thing. It was like a short section of films edited together of just like a weekend that I had going out and partying, basically. So not very exciting, but somehow also really exciting at the same time. I used to be really into like punk and alternative fashion. I still am, I don't know why I said used to be. I used to have blue hair, was all into piercings, and I was just living my authentic life online without ever explicitly saying what that authentic life was. So I never had like an I'm gay video or anything like that. I just literally lived, and I think that's where I got my first following from. And then I got involved in there used to be a thing on YouTube called community channels.
I cannot, like, okay, so I just hold you there.
Yeah.
So if anyone's obviously old school YouTube people here look like watching, how weird the fact that YouTube channel, like there was like collaboration channels, but like everyone have a day of the week, and we'd all be like,
I know, right?
Like, yeah. And that's not a thing anymore. People would, like, it's not even a...
You needed a huge amount of trust to run those as well, that someone wouldn't just hijack the whole thing and run off with it into the distance, but we shan't talk about that. Just doesn't exist anymore. I think the first iconic one that I personally found was 5 Awesome Gays. And then that spawned the one that I was part of, 5 Awesome Trannies, which is now kind of a taboo word.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I'm very on the fence about that word because I used to go clubbing at a place called Tranny Shack, so...
Yeah, I think it's hard because those days of YouTube were very different.
Yeah, but also the people that were watching it had different views and opinions. I think it's almost like a different generation than it is now. The T word is a very specific word that only a select few people can say now.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I'm sure you can think of other words that also mirror that sort of
yes!
meaning and saying.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
I want to see you talk about channels like that. So
yes, sorry, that's exactly it.
This is how I first discovered Luxeria. So you were on that 5AT channel, and I remember stumbling. I can't remember exactly how I managed to find it. I
don't know how anyone found anything back then. Like, there was no suggested videos. There was no in your feed that you might like. There was no algorithm. It literally was like, you have to be really searching to find something like this, and somehow here we are.
Yeah, exactly. So I stumbled across that channel, and
I don't know what you were typing into the YouTube search bar.
No, okay. So what it was, I think, is because I used to watch Chris Crocker and Love B. Scott, and I think
Love B. Scott. Oh my god.
So I think what happened is that somehow a video got shown to me from like the homepage. So after stumbling across 5AT, I became completely in love with you, and I followed you.
I was Lady Friday.
Yeah, you were. And then I still remember the intro video, and you had like the things that Jade has on Mortal Kombat. What's it called? The
sigh.
The sigh. So you're like, I'm Friday.
Oh god, yeah, actually cringe.
I remember that. I remember seeing you guys, and it was basically like I coming from such a small town and from a place where you know there was no such thing as androgyny where I was. It was literally like men were men, women were women, no crossover, no anything. And if a guy wore makeup, it was like
alert the press.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a weirdo nearby.
Going online and seeing like all 5 of you, and obviously mainly you and the Viscounts Strathanthus, it woke something up inside of me, and it was like,
oh, so it's my fault.
I'm now addicted to cocaine. When I found them, it just completely changed my life, and it's so strange to like. It's very, very rare for people to kind of meet their idols and then like become friends and, you know, actually become a part of their life. Being able to do that with you has been an incredible...
It's really sweet. That is so sweet, Roly.
Well, I love you. And so
I don't feel like... The words you used there was icon and someone really important, and I don't feel like either of those things, so it's like, the word's not revolutionary, but it feels revolutionary for me to get this level of like praise, because I was just being a little dickhead in Brighton on a camera. That's all I was doing, you know?
But like, so this is the thing, like, do you have any, like, do you just not even think that you were kind of changing people's lives and making...
Oh, hell no. No. Did not even think about it at all. Because there's a weird thing with YouTube that unless you actually bump into someone who knows you from the YouTube. Literally, if you are so disconnected from everyone, it's just numbers on a screen and nothing else. Maybe comments, but then comments you're always like, it's not real social interaction.
Yeah.
There was like one person that I remember I bumped into in Brighton and was like, I watch your YouTube videos, and I was like, God, why do you watch them? Can't be anything more boring. Until people started recognizing me in public, that was when it first initially made me go, okay, this is like a serious thing. Like, numbers are actually real people behind those numbers.
Can I say so?
Yeah,
580.
Yeah.
What year was that channel active?
Okay. When I remember it, I feel like it went on for 5.5 years, and I aged throughout the process because so much drama happened in such a tiny amount of time. I want to say that it started in 2007 or 8, around that sort of time. Sorry,
crazy.
I'm concentrating way too much on this. And I know that it went on for about a year, just over a year, and then that was it.
Going on from that sort of time period, because you had done videos pretty much non-stop since you started. You've had little gaps. So carrying on from 580, what happened after that with your YouTube?
With my personal journey?
Yeah.
Do you know, most of the time I can't remember. I know that I got into like doing themed makeup tutorials. Like, I know that lots of people like watching my supervillain makeup tutorials, from like video game villains to Harley Quinn to Ultimisia to things like that. There's a huge gap in my mind where I can't remember what happened between like 2009 to 2010, but I want to say that that's when I first moved to London. That's when I moved in with Sinestra, at the time Spyrex, and that's when we became our sort of like powerhouse duo of YouTube and then clubbing in London. And then at this time is when everything kind of gets a bit of a blur, because I was such a hardcore partier that YouTube kind of took a back burner, but it would also be involved in what I was doing, but also like it wasn't the whole purpose of everything that I was doing. Whereas before that, I had a job and I went to college and stuff, but that was my big hobby, you want to call it? Like YouTube was a hobby for me. And then when I moved to London, it became a full-time job. And that's when I was literally partying, going to makeup launch events, partying some more, filming, partying some more, going to more makeup events, and then filming them. And that was basically my life until 2013, and then I moved out of London.
I would say we started chatting properly, I would say around...
Oh, I don't know. I think it's actually quite a while back. I want to say it's like 2009 era. Because it was never like we were talking like constantly, because I also had a weird thing with the internet because I suffer from social anxiety. I always used to be like, don't talk to anyone who's weird, don't talk to anyone online, don't talk to this, don't talk to that. And that became really strange because you can't be involved in a community and not talk to anyone at the same time. Now
that we obviously became friends, and we tried to film a video like years and years and years ago. We looked through our history chats on Facebook, and we were going to make a queer cooking together, but basically I was apparently going to go mad while we cooked this cake, and you were going to be like, oh, calm down. That never happened, but
yeah. I think this was around the time of Androgenetics though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, after all that happened, you started the new channel, which at the time I was like, yes, this is what I needed, because there was like a massive gap between 580 ending and like, because I was on Gaze of the Week, and around that time...
That's right, yeah, I knew that there was another one that I was thinking of and I couldn't think of the name. Gaze of the Week was one.
That was great, so that was kind of like...
The internet is filled with history.
There was so much stuff, honestly, we could literally go on about this for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Absolutely.
So that happened, but there was a real gap in the market for real diversity, and kind of, because most of it like was kind of still just white gay men.
Yeah.
For androgynous and trans people, there still was kind of like a gap, and you created at that point
Androgenetics.
And
you know, I came up with that on my birthday in 2011, I want to say. It was kind of interesting to me because I came up with this whole concept literally a day before I went live with it, and I actually sent out a little like message to the ether to be like, if you're an androgynous boy, get in contact with me. I have a plan. So many people responded, and I was like, no one's ever gonna respond, so I'll just say yes to the first 5 people, and I did, and I was like, oh shit, actually I should have run like auditions or something and made this a bit more fair. Everyone that was involved, it was actually really quite heartwarming to think about it now, but. The reason why I started Androgenetics, and also there's a story behind its name as well. I didn't actually know that it was related to androgenetic alopecia, because I probably wouldn't have called it that.
God! I found it is so difficult to find at least a group of people to at least have the dedication to do a collaboration channel, which is why I think a lot of them died on YouTube, because it takes a lot of work to do
It really does, and also not everyone has the same setup. Like people have to work, people have school, people have lives outside of the internet, and you can't always, like, if I was to upload a half-an-hour video or something and then expect everyone that week to also watch it and then respond it next week. Like, I look back at those times with great fondness, but most other people that were involved in Androgenetics either, I think most of them transitioned the same as me, but apart from me and Saline, nobody else has publicly like kept up with YouTube in terms of transition and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I can totally understand that because not everyone wants their life laundry on the internet.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? Whereas I really don't care. You can watch whatever. I do not care.
So I want to move on to something else now. So, you're trans.
What? Drop the bomb. Exposed.com.
What was it like starting on YouTube as just like a guy in makeup and then coming out and transitioning on YouTube and sort of like living that experience where you've spent a lot of your time as, you know, one and then coming into the other? Like, explain how that's,
It's been an interesting experience, shall we say. First of all, when I started YouTube as a guy in makeup, I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I was in education and I was planning to go to university in London. That's kind of why the whole thing that I ended up moving to London. I didn't get in the end. So I started out just as something to do. I've always had a love for makeup, but I didn't really know quite how to do makeup when I started. Now, as a trans person, that is invaluable. Start with makeup because it makes your transition so much smoother. If you can do makeup, you can lie until you get it right, basically. So fake it till you make it, that's what I was trying to say. Obviously I started as a guy, and it was at a time in which I used to get quite a lot of hate on YouTube because there wasn't, as you said earlier, there wasn't very many men in makeup on YouTube.
Yeah,
There was a few, like Wayne Goss has always been on YouTube since the dawn of time, Goss makeup artist, but he wasn't like androgynous, he was just like a male makeup artist. Transitioning on YouTube is it brings up some unexpected problems because not only did I transition, I had some huge events happen in my life. I lost my best friend and I lost my mum literally 2 years after each other, and they have 100% put me in like a void in my mental health for a very long time, and I'm still kind of at the tail end of that now. I went through transitioning at the same time and went to university at the same time. All these three big things, grieving and education and transitioning, should not be done at the same time. And on YouTube, don't do it. Just don't do it because it's bad. I don't regret it, but I do think that I could have dealt with things a bit better. For example, not only have I transitioned online, but I've also, my body has changed. Like, I've put on weight due to stress and depression, those sorts of things, and also hormonal changes. So I get picked on for not being the same as I was when I started. No shit, bitch. I'm a totally different person now. I look back at my old YouTube, and also that's kind of why I started my new YouTube channel as well, because I want to encapsulate that chapter and be like, and I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Like, you can go back and open that box and enjoy all the toys in that box 100%, but those toys don't belong to me anymore.
I think that was a very smart move of you to do, to be honest. I think it is
I like being smart.
As someone who's followed you for this long, I think
Yeah.
watching you change online change, like, to me, I always saw it as a good thing, you sort of, you know, being who you want to be and stuff, and to me it was very empowering, and I think now seeing you change your channel and like start a new one and start your new sort of journey on YouTube with this other channel, I think to me I think it was a great thing to do.
Yeah.
And so do you ever get like, is it ever moments like, especially talking about this, have you ever looked back at old stuff and been like, oh God, like I don't like that, or like it upsets you, or like is there anything sort of like,
there are a few things that I've said in videos that I think now looking back that I could have avoided saying and my life would be better for it, but I generally don't have any regrets because each one of those decisions, whether good or bad, has led to me right here sitting right now talking to you doing this.
I mean, is this a good thing? Or?
Well, we'll have to see if it will be a regret.
When I edit it, it'll just be everything making you look terrible, and I'm like,
I didn't say that. Stop it. It'll just be cut up words. Everyone is terrible. So yeah, I started my new YouTube channel, and it's difficult to. A lot of people, I think, loved my old stuff, and a lot of new people love my new stuff. There is a sort of weird bit in the middle where they don't quite mix, because obviously I do a lot softer makeup now, as I say, wearing a fucking purple smoky eye. Not only have I transitioned, I've gotten older as well. I'm not like, I don't think if you are, the difference between 29 and 19 is actually quite considerable.
Yeah.
I mean, there is science saying that your frontal lobe doesn't even set into its state until 25. So before 25, you have no real understanding of what risk and reward is. You just know that you want to do something and you don't really care about the consequences. That's why you see a lot of young people making stupid mistakes that older people don't. Those kind of things all play into my story as well. I am a lot older now, I'm a lot wiser. I'm also quite a different person. I don't have the same toxic personality traits that I used to have, and a lot of my personality traits that I would maybe say in videos or come across as a certain way or treat people like a certain way were from a place of being so socially anxious without searching for help for it. Now I've got a lot of help for it. I'm in a better place of mind, I'm in a better place of body. Like, dysphoria is a weird thing. When you hate yourself, you hate everyone else as well. And when you start to love yourself, you can easily see traits in other people that you like and want to help with and want to grow and want to take onto your own self. I'm glad I'm starting a new YouTube channel, to be honest, because this is, I kind of feel like it's a bit of a last hurrah for me, because it's a weird, like, for me it started as a hobby. It started because I had nothing that I really wanted to do that was to do with social media or anything, like, before that was even a phrase. Imagine calling yourself an influencer in 2009. What people would throw rocks at you.
I remember one time vlogging, like, outside, and this was like maybe 2010, it would seriously, people would look at you as if like you're
because that
working under the Smurf suit.
Yeah, like literally like you kicked a bucket of babies. Absolutely. Yeah. This whole smartphone talking to yourself, selfie taking didn't happen. So everyone still really ran under the impression of if you talk to yourself, you're a crazy person.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. I had a few incidences at college when I used to take my camera in, and I had to be a bit risque and like not tell certain people that I was recording or what I was recording for, because otherwise it was very much like, why are you filming me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now it's like people are like, yes, I'll be in your video.
Yeah, it's so, weird
How
it's changed. It's so bizarre.
The word social media influencer did not exist. I mean, I barely called myself a YouTuber. I used to just say to people, oh, I do YouTube. The first and only reason why I wanted to be a partner was so that I could choose my thumbnails, because I was always stuck going otherwise, and I was like, no, I want pretty thumbnails. Pretty for my MySpace page.
So all in all, it's been a long,
arduous process filled with turmoil, hate, and makeup.
Basically.
That is my book title, actually.
So, at the stage in my life now, I have to say, obviously, thank you to you, and just the whole experience of watching.
I don't think you owe me a thank you at all. As I said earlier, what I was just doing is filming my breakdowns online. No, I wasn't Chris Crocker, but maybe a little bit. Yeah, I was just being myself, so there's no reason for a thank you. I'm just glad that this whole magical thing that we can't even touch has somehow put us into connection with each other and sprouted a friendship.
Yay! Now,
it's
don't
lovely.
ever come near me again. You have made a big impact in my life, and I think as now I'm in London, you know, I identify as non-binary, I'm very much entitled. I'm entitled. Yeah. I feel very happy with who I am now, and you did play a big part in that. And I think the fact that now we're friends and now we were able to do this video is it's something that I treasure, and something that I am very...
Oh, 100%. I've loved our little trip down memory lane today, and I'm going to treasure it for as long as I can remember it. It might only be a week.
Delete channel.
Yeah.
So thank you. But everyone, please, who is watching this, obviously, I know it's a long video, so if you're still watching, comment down below. I'm still watching.
Yeah.
But please go over to
17 years later.
I'm trying to haul you out, and you're being interrupted.
I'm on a different wavelength today.
Please go over to Luxeria's channel. I'll put a link right at the top of the description, because please go hopefully I can introduce you to a load of new people who, you know, would never been able to see you back in the day, and just like share, you know, share someone who I adore to you guys. So please go over to Luxeria's channel and subscribe, and, you know, follow her life on there as well. And obviously links to everything else is down below. But please hit that like button, guys. It does really help me out. Subscribe down below, and we'll see you all very soon. Be fabulous, amazing, gay, be everything you want to be. Don't let the picture they take on with you, because you are flawless. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.